Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Kennedy, and welcome back to another episode of Market Academy. This week, I have a treat for you, or at least I think it's a treat. What I want to do this week is I want to walk you through the process I go through whenever we're talking about a specific market. For example, if I show you XYZ stock and I think, hey, we have a three-wave decline, this looks like a potential buying opportunity, or hey, the market's going to continue higher, or whatever, all the charts, all the stocks that we look at in Market Academy, how do I actually find them? Okay, because remember, there are thousands of individual stocks, and there's even more thousands of markets you can trade. So with so many different, say, possibilities, how do you actually go through weeding out the noise, really kind of separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, and actually find those high quality trade setups? So this is what I'm going to be doing today. We're actually today, tomorrow, and Thursday as well. I'm going to show you step by step what my process actually is. Okay, so the first step I like, again, me personally, you can adapt it for your own, is I usually start out with a basket of stocks. Okay, now this basket, as you can see here, there's a total of 661 stock symbols in this basket. And how is this basket specifically constructed? Well, it's a basket of stocks that have weekly options available on them. Okay, so if a stock doesn't have a weekly option, then it doesn't find itself into this specific basket. Now, how do I rank the basket? Okay, well, you can rank the basket on many different levels. For example, I usually set the basket to volume, where I want the highest volume stocks at the top. You could rank it based on closing price action. Start with the highest or the lowest price stocks. Average true range is another one that I kind of look at. Beta, that sort of thing, market capitalization. You can sort them any way you want, okay? So if we sorted them by market capitalization, then of course we have the big names that you're very, very well familiar with. Netflix, Oracle, Walmart, Tesla, and so on, okay? But I usually just go with a straight volume screen, start off with that, and then here comes the legwork, the hard part, okay? Let's go ahead and get that back to volume. What I do is the way my computer is set up, and this is actually even a little bit easier on TradingView, although I'm a little bit more familiar with Trade Navigator, the charting software that I currently use to come up with my price charts here. But I am a little bit familiar with TradingView, and TradingView actually makes this whole aspect much, much easier. But what happens is every time I click on a chart, then the underlying price chart flips to that. So for example, if I start off with NVIDIA, the chart underneath it goes automatically to NVIDIA. And then I click on Tesla, and then the chart comes up automatically to Tesla. So all I really have to do with this methodology utilizing specifically Trade Navigator is hit the down arrow on my keyboard, and it goes to the next stock, and then the next stock, and then the next stock. For example, we'll go back to NVIDIA, okay, and let me slide this over to the left, and then you'll see here under the active chart, here's the active chart, that is NVIDIA. Then I click on Tesla, remember that was number 2, then we look at Tesla, and then I click on the next one, Intel, boom, up pops Intel, and then I click on, say, the next one. This would be, okay, here we go. We have a Tesla Bull Bear Fund here, ETF. Okay, and so you kind of get the idea. Now, what I typically do is I go through in a fairly quick fashion, looking at each individual stock, okay? And essentially when I'm going through this process, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for things I recognize, okay? And as you well know, I'm going to be looking, of course, for, something I recognize. I'm an Elliotician. That's typically how I initially approach a chart. But just so you know, on a number of, say, available softwares and websites like FinViz or TradingView, you can actually do a scan automatically of, say, specific things. Right? See, so whenever I'm looking at a price chart, I'm essentially looking for, ideally, say, wave patterns. Okay. For example, here we have Intel. This looks like, some kind of corrective decline. I like the upside. Very easy for me to do. But then again, I've had a lot of practice. But you can make this even more precise, more specific to your whole approach to the market by saying, for example, hey, show me all the stocks that have bullish engulfing patterns, or show me all the stocks where, RSI is moving from below 30 to above 30, or from above 70 to below 70, or something like that. Or show me all stocks that have a crossover between percent K, percent D, whatever indicator. So there's a lot of capabilities out there as far as technology goes that we simply did not have when I first started in the business back in the 80s and 90s. Computer certainly has made the act of that legwork, that hard work you have to put in initially. So what I'm going to be, so I wanted to show you this process. So the first process is to go through a basket, okay? And I really recommend you do this quickly, okay? Because, for example, this price chart here, by the time I look at my next price chart, I'm going to probably spend maybe a couple of seconds just looking at the price chart. Because if I stare at the price chart longer than, say, a second or 2 or 3 seconds, my mind, the way my mind works, and your mind works as well, is you begin to see, you begin to make up patterns. Okay, you begin to kind of look at it and stare at it and go, okay, hey, maybe that's what's going on. That's not what we want to do here. What we're looking for things that we immediately recognize. Boom. Look at a chart. Boom. Move on to the next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. Very, very quickly. So really in the span of maybe 10 or 15 minutes, or actually 5 or 10 minutes, really, I can go through 100 plus price charts. Okay. And then what I do when I'm going through that process, I have a little mini, little legal pad right next to me when I'm doing this exercise. And I tend to do this exercise on the weekends when I've got time to relax and I can kind of work at my leisure. And then I just simply write those names down. And that would be the first step. Okay. So what we're doing initially is creating a watch list. Okay, that's what we're doing. So the process is to simply look through a bunch of price charts, really quickly, and just pull out the ones that just like, oh man, that looks cool. Or, hey, that's a double failure swing high, double failure swing low. Hey, that's a price gap. That looks clearly like wave 3 price action. And just boom, 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 boom. You want to do it quickly. Now, that initial step, that is not the time that you want to like pause and put a lot of detailed analytical work into whatever you're looking at. And it could be soybeans or live cattle or the euro currency or an FX market. Bonds, it doesn't matter. Okay, I use the same approach across everything. And of course, because of my time frame that I typically trade, daily works best for me. If you're more of, again, a longer term investor, you may want to try this process with, say, a weekly or even a monthly price chart. Well, I went through this process yesterday, kind of in preparation for this week's lessons. So today, lesson number 1, what is step number 1? It's the legwork. It's the hard work, okay, where you go through a bunch of price charts. And then you basically, pull out or write on your Post-it note or little mini legal pad, the ones that are just immediately exciting. Okay. You don't want to think. Step 1 is not the time to be thinking or doing analysis. This is just simply, fast recognition. Okay. See a chart, recognize something, boom, write it down. See a price chart, don't recognize anything, fine, move on to the next one. This is how you weed out or go through 100 or 200 price charts very quickly and find the maybe 5 or 10 that are really worth spending time with. That's what we're actually going to be doing tomorrow. Okay.